Did you know that every millionaire falls into one of just 5 types? The question is, which one are you becoming? Number 5, the flashy spender. If you had millions, would you want people to know? The flashy spenders are people who treat wealth like it's a performance art because, for them, it is. These are the ones who don't just buy a car. They buy a fleet. They don't just go on vacation. They rent the whole resort. And if there's a way to add gold, diamonds, or an obnoxiously large logo to something, best believe they're doing it. For the flashy spender, money is only for showing. You know the type. They step out to design everything, post their extravagant lifestyle on Instagram like it's a full-time job, and somehow always seem to be casually photographed stepping onto a private jet, and critically saying, some of them don't even own half the stuff they show off. Renting luxury for the aesthetic is a whole industry now, but let's give them credit. The world would be boring without them. Imagine if every rich person just quietly invested and lived in a normal house. Yawn. Flashy spenders give us entertainment, whether it's watching their insane purchases or, let's be real, watching the inevitable financial disaster when they go overboard. Now, the perks of being a flashy spender are obvious, right? You get to experience the best of everything: first-class flights, private chefs, VIP access to every event, and people literally treating you like royalty. Life is a non-stop highlight reel, and everyone wants to be in your circle until the money runs low. And that's the problem. Flashy spending comes with a price tag beyond the receipts. There's always a pressure to keep up the lifestyle, even when finances start looking shaky. One day you're popping bottles in a VIP section. The next, you're wondering why your accountant is sweating profusely. It's all fun and games until someone checks the bank balance. Then there's the issue of who's really your friend. Money attracts people, but not always the right ones. Flashy spenders become magnets for gold diggers, fake friends, and sketchy business deals. Everyone wants a piece of the wealth, and before you know it, you're funding someone's dream project that never actually materializes. So here's the real question. If you suddenly had unlimited money, what's the first ridiculous purchase you'd make? Are you buying a pet tiger, a mansion with a built-in water park, or just going full billionaire mode and launching yourself into space for no reason? Number 4, the savvy investor. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, you have the people who don't see wealth as something to be flaunted, but as something to be multiplied. The savvy investor doesn't care about flashy cars or designer labels. They care about assets, ROI, and compound interest. They aren't just rich, buddy. They're strategically rich. While the flashy spender is buying a $10,000 handbag, the investor is buying shares in the company that made it. That's next-level flexing. Imagine pulling up to a luxury hotel, and instead of booking a suite, you casually mention, "Oh yeah, I own 5% of this place." That's real power. Don't you want that? The best example is that of Warren Buffett. The man is worth over $100 billion, but still lives in the same house he bought in 1958 for $31,500. Meanwhile, some influencers out here are renting sports cars just for the gram. Different mindsets, different results. Savvy investors play the long game. First, they make money, and then they make their money work for them. They invest in stocks, real estate, businesses, and anything else that appreciates over time. They understand that true wealth is about ownership. But here's the reality. It's not always fun being the responsible one. Investing is stressful. If the stock market crashes, your net worth takes a hit. If there's a bad investment, then just say goodbye to a chunk of your fortune. And while the flashy spenders are out having fun, investors are stuck reading financial reports and debating whether or not they should buy more shares of Apple. And then there's the perception issue. People might think you're cheap just because you're not blowing money left and right. They don't understand that wealth isn't about what you show, it's about what you own. While others are leasing luxury cars, you're out here buying entire apartment buildings. It's not flashy, but it's powerful. So let's settle this debate. Would you rather have a modest lifestyle with long-term financial security or a lavish lifestyle with potential financial risks? Let's see who's really thinking ahead. Number 3, the philanthropist. Then we have the people who use their wealth not for flexing, not for investing, but for giving. The philanthropist doesn't see money as just personal gain. They also see it as a tool for change. And if you ask me, they might be the real MVPs. These are the people funding schools, building hospitals, and donating millions to causes they believe in. Think about Bill Gates, Oprah, or Mackenzie Scott. Instead of hoarding wealth, they're spreading it where it matters. But you know what? It does feel good to give. Doesn't it feel positive having the power to change lives, to fund breakthroughs, to literally reshape the world with your bank account? That's a level of power most people can't even comprehend, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows. When you're known for giving, guess what happens? Everyone wants a piece. Your inbox is flooded with requests, people expect handouts, and sometimes you have to question if people actually care about you or just your donations. And then there's the pressure. If you have billions and you're not giving enough, people judge you. Give too much, and suddenly you're not managing your money wisely. It's a tough balance, but true philanthropists don't do it for public approval, so they might not care at all. They do it because they genuinely want to make a difference. So, if you suddenly had $100 million and had to give half of it away, would you set up a foundation that pays off student loans for everyone named Bob? Number 2, the workaholic tycoon. For some people, wealth isn't about spending or investing it. It's about building it. The workaholic tycoon doesn't retire at 40 to sit on a beach sipping cocktails. No, they grind until their last breath. Money isn't the goal. It's just a way to keep score. Plus, you know what's the real addiction? Winning. These are your Elon Musks, Jeff Bezoses, and Mark Cubans. The people who don't take vacations because they see relaxing as a waste of time. While other millionaires are off buying super yachts, the workaholic is buying entire industries. They wake up at 4 a.m., run on 3 hours of sleep, and have their personal assistant remind them to eat because food is a distraction. On the plus side, their empire keeps growing. They become legends, create jobs, and literally shape the world. But at what cost? Many workaholics end up burnt out, isolated, or divorced. It's hard to maintain relationships when your idea of quality time is sending business emails at dinner. So, if you were rich, would you actually relax? Or would you keep grinding until you owned everything in sight? The choice might be tough. Number 1, the stealth wealth guru. Have you ever met someone who looks like they just rolled out of bed in a plain t-shirt, drives a 10-year-old Toyota, and then, boom, you find out they're secretly sitting on a $100 million portfolio? That's the stealth wealth guru, the person who has all the money in the world but zero desire to show it off. While the flashy spender is out there peacocking in a Gucci tracksuit, the stealth wealth guru is quietly stacking assets. They'll own multiple properties, diversified investments, and maybe even a private jet. But you'd never know it unless you looked at their bank statements. They could afford anything, yet they prefer a simple, stress-free life. But why? That's because attention is expensive. The second people know you have money, they want some of it, like friends asking for loans, distant cousins suddenly remembering you exist, and salespeople pitching exclusive opportunities. The stealth wealth guru avoids all that. No one treats them differently, and they get to move through life without a target on their back. But here's the real flex. They still get all the perks of being rich. They fly first class, stay in 5-star hotels, and eat at Michelin star restaurants. But they don't broadcast it. They experience luxury without the pressure of keeping up an image. The downside is that no one is impressed by them. They don't get the oohs and ahs when they pull up to a party. But here's the fact. They don't need validation. They know they've already won. So now that you've seen the 5 types of rich people, we come to the real question. Which one will you be? Are you living large, investing smartly, or never showing it off? Let us know your thoughts and views in the comments below. But you know what? No matter what type you choose, one thing is clear. Being rich isn't just about money. It's about how you use it. So if you want tips and tricks on that, check out our most recent video about it. And hey, if you have made it this far, you might already have rich person energy. If you want to manifest that rich life, you already know what to do. Subscribe, like, and stick around. Because trust me, you're going to want to be on this journey to the top.